This one goes out to everybody who loves that look behind the curtains. Hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife, and today, as my 5-year booktube anniversary has just passed, I am going to take a look with you behind the scenes of what my filming schedule is like, why it was that I went on to booktube in the first place, and the things that I have really loved about my time here. I have spent 5 years doing exactly this, sitting in front of a camera and talking to you guys about the books that I've loved, about the books that I haven't loved, the books that I think you guys would really enjoy, and doing a couple of question and answers on the way. I don't know where the original tag of this has come from, but I picked these questions up from Oceana, gotta read them all, and I think that this is a great way to kind of deep dive into my booktube habits, whether it's the reasons that I started in the first place, what it is that's kept me going, and all of the things that have happened between the 2nd of March 2020 all the way up until now. First question is, what surprised you about booktube in a good or in a bad way? Something that really surprised me in a good way is just how much you can build a community. When I started out, I didn't really know that many people in the book community. There were a couple of people that I had kind of known from being on the periphery, but being here for the last 5 years has genuinely brought me in some really great friendships. There are people that I've met online just from having met them on booktube. There are people who I talk to on a daily basis because I've met them through having put videos online. There are people who I actually have their phone number and we will text about personal things rather than just, these are the books that I've really enjoyed and this is one that I think you'd really like too. I just really love that kind of community feeling that you get from putting booktube videos online. But on the flip side, something that I don't really love about booktube and something that did surprise me a bit is the pressure that it can make you feel to read. You really feel like you're keeping up with the Joneses. You have to read so much because Mary has read more than you have this month and John read more than she did this month. So you have to keep up with what they've done in order to be in any way relevant on booktube. And I don't necessarily think that that's correct. I think you can read at your own pace, you can read your own style, and you can still have a really great channel and really great engagement from reading 5 books than from reading 55 books in a month. Question 2 is, how do you balance reading and booktube with the rest of your life? Like a lot of people on booktube, I have a full-time job, which does take up quite a lot of my week. But if I'm working from home, I'll film on my lunch break. It'll give me a little bit of time to step away from my computer and to just talk about things that I've really been enjoying. I also am really lucky that I have the kind of job that I can read while doing so. So while I'm working, I'll very often have an audiobook in my ears, just putting data in and listening to an audiobook or filling something out. It's just a really great way to keep up with the books that I want to read. I also do quite a lot of filming at the weekends, particularly on Saturday mornings. And now that it is starting to get a little bit brighter, there is really great natural light that's kind of streaming into my apartment, making it a little bit more attractive to film in the mornings. I also try and get a little bit done after work, but in the winter that can be a little bit difficult because it's dark, because it's gloomy, and because I really have to put my ring light to work that time. Question 3, have you ever thought about starting a Patreon? I'm going to use the German answer of Jein, which is a combination of yes and no. I don't think that I have the audience, I have the engagement, and I have the ideas to keep a Patreon going. But a couple of years ago, I did put together a template of what I wanted to do if I were in the position to have a Patreon. So if something happens later down the line, I have got the basis of an idea. It's just that right now I know it's not the right idea for me. I don't think it would give me the return that I really would like to see from that kind of thing. And it's just something that I know in terms of time and in terms of effort, I just don't have enough to give to it. Question 4, have you ever made any mistakes on booktube? And if you find somebody who says they've never made a mistake, you are looking at a bitch-ass liar. I have made so many little small errors with book videos. I have put videos up that had an entire 30 seconds of black soundless clip because I forgot to put the 2 clips together. I have put up blank spaces where there should have been something in there. I've put up clips that weren't edited right so that you've got me kind of sneezing or fixing my hair, and I don't like putting those things into the videos. I've definitely done things that I would look back on the video and say, oh, maybe I should have edited this a little bit closer. But I don't think I'm the only person to have ever done it. I'm definitely not the first person to do it, and I probably won't be the last to do it either. Question 5, do you have any advice for new booktubers? And I know that it sounds cliche, but just do it. Just sit in front of your camera, of your phone, of whatever it is that you're going to be filming, and just press the record button. There's no real way to get more comfortable with talking to a camera and feeling like you're talking to yourself other than just doing it. And if you want to, you can even film 3, 4, 5 videos that are just never going to see the light of day. It gives you an opportunity to get used to talking to yourself. It gives you an opportunity to get used to talking on camera and seeing what it is that are your nervous tics. I've noticed that one of my nervous tics is that I say so all the time. And it's something that I've edited out, so it's not something that you're going to notice. But when you start watching videos back, you'll start to kind of notice things that you're doing and you'll pick up on them and you'll stop doing them in the future. But if you want to get comfortable with talking on camera, I would definitely recommend to just set your phone up, set your camera up, whatever it is that you're going to be using, and just word vomit so that you get comfortable with doing it, even if it's never going to be published. Question 6, what are your thoughts on the YouTube algorithm? I cannot understand it if you paid me. I have genuinely stopped trying to understand what it is that the YouTube algorithm is looking for. There's been times that I have really thought that I've cracked it and I put a video up and it's gonna explode and then like 50 people will watch it. And there have been times that I have thought, hey, this is just like a filler content video, nobody's going to watch it, and it will just vibe. People will genuinely keep looking for it. There are a couple of videos that I've put up even in the last couple of months that I've thought, hey, this is just a basic video, nobody's really going to pay attention to it, and then it's got like 400, 500, 600 views. And for me, that's a video going viral. I'm not really big in the numbers game, so I know that my videos are probably going to hover around the 200 or so views mark. But when something goes up to that level, then I know that I've cracked something. But when I try and replicate it, the algorithm just basically doesn't want to know who I am. Question 7 has 2 parts. So part A is, how do you decide what videos that you want to put up? A lot of it is seasonal stuff. For example, in March, I put up a lot of videos about Irish books, Irish authors, just generally me being Irish. In February, a lot of it is about romance books and a lot of Valentine's Day content. June, July, and August, it's all kind of summer and happy vibes. Whereas September, October, it gets a little bit cozier. And for some people, it will get a little bit spookier, but I'm not a big horror reader. So for me, it turns into kind of spoopy season. Obviously, in December, there's a lot of Christmas romances, and then January is kind of end of year, start of year content. That's a lot of how I will decide what my videos should be. I do kind of sit down and think, hey, this is something really interesting that I'd really like to try, but where do I fit it into the year? There are a lot of kind of evergreen videos that will just kind of float around in my mind, and then I'll just put them in anywhere that I can think of. Question 7B is, are you ever overwhelmed with video ideas? And at the moment, it's definitely a no. There's been a kind of a dip in creativity for me for the last couple of months, and I've really struggled to think about what it is that I want to put up. There's been video ideas that I've had, and then I will abandon them halfway through because I get scared of the books or because I just don't have time to fulfill them. There's been sit-down video ideas that I have had that I just don't publish them because I lose the kind of ideas for it, and I lose the want to film it. But I really need to kind of sit down, blank slate, and just come up with a couple of ideas because I can definitely feel a dip in creativity, and I really want to start turning that around. Question 8 is, do you ever regret posting a video? And there are definitely some that I would rework, there are definitely some that I would do again in a different format, but I don't think that there's anything that I regret putting up. Even if it was one that my energy level wasn't completely there, it still kept me in the game, it still kept me making videos, it still let the YouTube algorithm know that I existed, so there's always a reason behind having posted it. It's just that it might not have been exactly what I wanted it to be, but it was still there. Once again, question 9 has 2 points. So question 9A is, are views and subscribers meaningful to you? And on the surface, I'll tell you no, but actually deep inside, it kind of really does. I always love seeing the view count ticking up and the subscribers count ticking up. And it's just really nice and really kind of affirming to know that people are watching the content that you've spent so much time working on, that you have read the books, that you've edited, that you've worked really hard on, and that you've put out into the world. It does just really feel good to get that kind of return. Question 9b is, are subscriber and viewer numbers a measurement of success? And I wouldn't necessarily say so. I know plenty of booktubers who have 1,000 subscribers, 5,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, who put out so much better and so much more engaging content than people who have 50,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. I don't think that the number of subscribers that you have necessarily will translate into how successful that you are. I do think that it has a role in how many people know who you are and how many people are excited to watch your videos. But like I said, there's people with 5,000 subscribers out there who I cannot wait to see something new from. There's people with 5,000 subscribers out there who've had absolutely phenomenal ideas. There's people with 1,000 subscribers out there who never miss a video to comment on from mine. And I just think that everybody should get a share of the success, no matter how many subscribers they have. Question 10 is kind of a hard-hitting one. Are you disappointed by the growth on your channel? At times, admittedly, I can be. There are times that I have looked at booktubers who have started a little bit later than me or quite a lot later than me, and their engagement numbers have absolutely soared. And I've sat down and thought, what is it that they offer that so many people are coming for? What is it that they have that I'm missing out on? What is it that they have that I don't have? And there's always that kind of comparison is the thief of joy situation. Every time that you sit down and compare yourself to Mary's channel, to John's channel, to Philip's channel, to Simon's channel, you're thinking in a different way than you should be. You don't have to necessarily be better than everyone else. You just have to be a little bit better than you were a year ago. You just have to have different ideas than when you were a year ago. Question 11, have you ever thought about quitting BookTube? And that is, at the moment, a definite no. I have taken breaks when I've needed to take breaks, and admittedly not taken breaks when I should have taken breaks. But when I did take those, it was always with the intention of coming back. It was always, I'm going to return to this at some stage. For example, when I moved to Berlin, I took about 2 or 3 weeks off just so that I could readjust, so that I could find my footing in a new city. But when I went through a breakup previously, I didn't take a break. I just kind of went headfirst into making videos, no matter what the content was, no matter where I was, no matter how I was feeling. And you can see in my demeanor as I am filming those videos that I am not at my usual self. I am not the person that I usually present while I'm on camera. Maybe I should have taken that time a little bit more just to heal myself and then come back stronger. Question 12, again, has 2 parts. So 12A, what are the most touching comments that you've gotten while on BookTube? There's actually been a couple of these that have really stood out to me. There are a couple that I've gotten that have said somebody has read this book and thought about me, or they've read this book because I was the one that recommended it to them, and then it turned out to be one of their favorite books of the year. But when somebody says, you are one of my favorite booktubers to follow, I am always excited when I see a video from you in my subscription feed. I wait every single day for Monday and Thursday to come around because that's your scheduling system. I am so enamored by these people who will kind of focus their day around me and think, oh, at X time, a new video from Aoife is going to come out and I've got to watch it. It's just that little kind of cozy feeling that you know somebody out there, you are making a bit of an impact in their life. Question 12B, have there been any negative comments? I've been quite lucky that because I am such a small booktuber, I haven't really received a whole lot of hate on the internet, but there has been a couple of things that have come up. There was one time that I published a Thanksgiving book tag. Obviously, this was around the end of November, and I had somebody come into my Instagram DMs and shout at me, and I mean internet caps lock shouting at me, for putting up this video and for taking the side of the pilgrims who had come over from the UK. And if there is anything that I'm going to do in life, taking the side of the British is not usually going to be one of those things. So that was just a little bit strange, and I did try and engage in a conversation with them, but they blocked me pretty soon afterward. So I don't really know how that would have gone. Question 13 is, where do you see your channel in 5 years' time? Hopefully by that stage I will be at touching distance or already at 3,000 subscribers. At the moment I'm sitting at around 1,700, so 5 years from now it doesn't seem like that's out of the scope of reality. But when you remember that it took me 5 years to get to 1,600, let's see how the rest of it goes. I really would love to see Rom-Comathon making a return journey. I did bring it back for Christmas for a little kind of a holiday themed readathon, but I have ideas for other readathons that I just haven't been able to put time into. I haven't been able to focus on it in February of this year because I had quite a lot of things going on. But hopefully there's going to be a couple of years in the future that it will be able to return in all of its glory. Most importantly, I would still just love to be here. I would love to still be engaging with the community, with putting videos up, with talking about the books that I've really loved, with introducing books that people may not have known about to a wider and potentially international audience, and just fostering all of the friendships that I have made in the time. Those are my answers to the Behind the Booktube tag. Were any of these answers kind of a surprise to you? Or do you feel like you kind of already knew them anyway? If you'd love to leave me a comment but you can't think of anything you'd like to say, then just leave me the video camera emoji. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.